All right. Hello, people in TV land and in my Zoom room. Let's start. We're actually going to start with the lymph flush today. So start by rubbing your hands together, just getting some energy into your hands. This lymphatic flush is a detoxifier of your body, and the lymph system is like the primary detox. Also, we detox through breathing, through sweating, through pooping and peeing. That is all detox activity. But this is the primary like whole system that we don't tap into really enough or think about, I think, often. So we're going to start with our right hand up in this left quadrant, right up. It can be just above your collarbone. So the subclavian, the veins under your clavicles, are returning the lymph back into the bloods and the heart in here to be then refiltered and go back out. And this left side of our body is the most responsible. Like, it's doing 3/4 of the work. So the right side, not quite as much, it's doing like 1/4 of the work. And we want to clear the pathway right at the base, the floodgates. We want to make sure they're open so that when we do the rest of the points, it can really return into center. Go ahead and switch it to the other side, same thing. I like to move around a little bit while I'm doing it, even if it's micro movement or macro movement, just moving a little bit so that I'm moving from the inside and the outside, not just pushing into my body, but there's this squishy, spongy, ringing relationship going on. Maybe not spongy. Nobody really wants to be spongy. I'm just going to change the lighting in here a little bit since I see I'm being super washed out. Oh, my lighting designers, they're just not working right. They're just not working hard enough on getting my lighting right. All right, and then the next place is going to be right behind the angle of the jaw. I'm going to do both sides at the same time. I'm also going to kind of move my mouth around, yawn and open. If this feels tender, be very gentle. Like, you don't need to jam into your body if it's tender. If it doesn't feel tender, then go ahead and get in there. And today we're just going to go around to the back. Slow it down a little bit, just really light little touch in there. Saying hello to the vagus nerve, cranial nerves coming out around the back here. And then we'll go to the next place. Right hand on the left armpit. So kind of armpit, pec, upper quadrant of your boob. I mean, my boob is definitely not up there these days, but maybe some people's are, depending on what they've had done to their body or how young they are. I don't know. My boobs were never up at my shoulders, or my armpit, but you never know. We're all different. And then the same thing on the other side, what everybody needs to know. And I'm just going to make a couple sales pitches as we're in here. One is I'm teaching a space class, the sort of geometry of space and how to embody that on a deeper level on January 7th. I will make sure to put a link down in the description. And then the other thing is, if you're watching this in TV land, you can come and join the class and be in the room. Like, all of that stuff is on my website, how to join. So I'm also taking private clients. So it's all out there. It's all available, right? All your needs will be met. Just kidding. Maybe some of them. Let's do a little tapping right under. Here's the like thymus area. Actually, let's do this. We haven't done this in a long time. K27 points. So right underneath the corner of your clavicle, there's no corner, the edge of your clavicle and down, there should be like a little indentation. Everyone's might be in a slightly different place, just circling around. Maybe making some noise with that, and feel free to make noise. All the people in my room are muted so they can make noise too. So when we're like, giving ourselves that, we're also going to be stimulating nitric oxide, which is a antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal. And when we breathe through our nose, we're taking in nitric oxide. And when we hum, we create it, and then we breathe it back in, even better. And this also is it affects our endothelial cells. So those are the lining cells, and it is an anti-inflammatory for our heart and our blood and our circulatory system. So there you go. Lots of sales pitches today. Next place we're going to come to, let's just do a tap, a Tarzan. Opening up and taking up some space with your upper lungs. And then coming down to the cisterna-chyli. So that's like, here's my xiphoid process, here's my belly button. Right smack dab in the middle is the cisterna-chyli. The cistern, it's the biggest cistern lymphatic node in your body. And I'm also, again, moving. Can you feel that I had my coffee this morning? Oh, got up, did my outside walk, got the sunlight in my eyeballs, and then had some coffee. Okay, and this one always feels kind of gross to me. Like for some reason, like my guts are like, oh yeah, thank you for that jam. So sometimes if I kind of contract in a little bit, it's another way to just get a little deeper. Contracting in, but not hardening on the contraction. So don't think that kind of contraction. Just think like a Martha Graham contraction, curling around, letting your fingers dive in there. And then the next place is this angle of the hip, inguinal fold, between your pubic bone and the front of your hip bone. And then finally behind your knees, behind the eye of your knee, which in my case today is rather sore from pole dance class, which was on Wednesday night. So that's a few days ago, but we were doing a lot of stuff hanging by our knees. All right, shake that all out, let it go. Blah, 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 blah. Shake, shake, shake. Enliven your space all around your body. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Again, if you have like deep diaphragmatic breathing, shaking, movement, they're all going to get that lymphatic fluid moving in your body. Let's spiral, twisting, looking around behind you. See what's back there. Let your eyes take in the space, and you're giving your nervous system the message that you're safe as you pan the horizon with your eyeballs. All right, and then coming in and finally coming back to these breaths. Inhale, reach it up, get as long and tall as you can. Really reach through your fingertips up, right out of the frame of the camera. Reach, reach, maybe stretch one side, stretch the other, like fingertips, like the feathers of our wings, of our heart and lungs, letting those tips get really long. So we're stretching the whole like train of fascia on one side of the body and the other. Just breathing, thinking of that going down to the lower lobes of your lungs, into your diaphragm, just creating more space inside your body through reaching. Fascia loves it. And then release, and let's take another breath up. Light, free, and easy, filling up. And then just easy, letting the arms come down, letting the shoulders relax. Inhale, open. Look up, open your chest, open your heart. Exhale, and soften. And one more, really chest reaching up to the ceiling, having that moment, or the sky of like transcendence, reaching out and up and releasing down. And let's take it into a forward fold. You're going to forward fold with your feet kind of wide and shift from side to side. Oh, let your head and neck totally release. And letting that movement ripple from your tail to your head. So just shifting one side, shifting the other. We're not necessarily going for the biggest hamstring stretch yet. If you're tighter, you could also, and I'm just going to give you the butt shot, you could hold onto something and spiral here. So you're still getting that movement, but you have support. So don't feel like you have to be like opening up every part of your hamstring quite yet. And come into center and roll it all the way up. And we're going to circle, big circle with the pelvis. Let that move through the bones and muscles of your feet, calf, and shin. And feel what your head wants to do on top. So head has some freedom. It's not just locked into place, and change direction. Again, freeing up the whole pattern of your body. I'm thinking Wham. I think I heard that song on the radio the other day. The Freedom Song with George Michael. And then coming in, and we're going to do one more thing here. I'll just show you sideways. We're going to internally rotate, curl, and then externally rotate and arch. Internal rotation, external rotation, letting your, and I'm going to do it with my legs as well. Internally rotate, externally rotate. So arms and legs turning in, arms and legs opening out. My scapula are moving around, sliding around all over my back. Internal rotation, external rotation, internal rotation, external rotation. And again, letting this movement, so kind of doing a figure 8 actually with my arms. Maybe you are too, maybe something else is happening, but it's allowing that relationship into your body to really come online. All right, let's take it down to the floor. This is another creaky floor. Yeah, you may notice that I am not in my house upstate. I am in my, I'm in the city. So this is another creaky floor, just like the one upstate. Let's take, let's go across our butts from side to side, rolling one side and then the other. I'm kind of curling my spine here, so I'm not trying to be long and straight spine. I'm just rounding so that I can massage out my glutes and rotators. Breathing into it. Yeah, I've had a very exciting couple of days, the past few days. I've been in the city. I saw a bunch of clients. In fact, one of them's even in the room. Yay! That was so much fun. And I saw a bunch of friends too, like people for dinner. We went and saw a pole dancing show last night at Drome. It was, I'm just going to give a plug for Sammy Picone or Piccone. It's probably Picone. And her pole dance school that they're opening up in Harlem called Sada Harlem. I think it's opening in the spring, but it was an event fundraiser for that. Lay on your back and circle your knees. And she's an incredible pole dancer. I follow her on Instagram, Sammy Picone. If you want to be amazed and look at some fluid movement, watch her and change direction, strength and fluidity, like an incredible amount of flow. She's beautiful and she's beautiful. So there you go. Circling the other way, just letting you lubricate up those hip sockets. Your feet can be relaxed or your toes can be pointed, whatever feels good to you. Also, as I'm doing this, just to add one more thought, is like our spine is coming down, it's connecting onto our hip bones at our sacrum, right? Sacroiliac, those lumbar spine. As I'm doing the circle with my knees, I'm getting a little movement with that lumbar spine and sacrum, those joints. So letting yourself, if I keep my head on the floor, I can have a little bit more freedom in my lower body. So as you're doing this, as much as possible, let go and I keep just shifting one direction and the other. As much as possible, let go and let that just massage out the lower back. So guts, everything relax. My hands are doing most of the work. And then lower your feet to the floor. And I don't have so much room side to side here. Let's come back, roll back and forth a little bit. If rolling back and forth is too much at this point, don't do it. You can always roll side to side, but if it feels okay, rolling back and forth. And then we're going to come to sit up, legs out in front. And again, we're going to work with that. Let me turn around, then I'll have more room. Let me just relocate this. Then I'll do the exact same thing, just on the other side. But at least I'll be looking toward the light. All right, back of the hands towards each other, spiraling in, and then inhale, open. We're going to come up to like where we're vertical, and then we're just going to win the race, pushing through a little bit, reaching out through your fingertips, coming through neutral, back of the hands towards each other, coming up to neutral, and then moving forward and through. I used to never have people do that forward and through. I had them stop here, but now I realize we need to start opening our chests and collarbones even more with all the device time that everyone's spending, whether it's on your computer or your phone. And let's even try and kind of look up as we win the race. It's kind of a natural pattern. Like when people are winning the race, they're usually not head down. They're like, I am breaking through. So let yourself have a breakthrough. Win the race with your chest. Does that make sense, right? When you come to that last moment, crossing the finish line. Oh yeah, and passing it. Inhale, open, exhale. We're gonna change it. Inhale, you're gonna spiral, serve the sandwiches to everybody on one side. Exhale, hollow, internally rotate the hands, and then spiral the other way, opening it up. Sandwiches for everybody. Halfway down. We have plenty of sandwiches. Please feel free to enjoy a sandwich. Ha! And since I've gone gluten-free, which my body certainly is thanking me for, I am not eating sandwiches. So I'm just serving them to you. Unless we have some good gluten-free bread. There's not a whole lot of that out there. That is definitely more expensive, eating good gluten-free stuff. But mostly I just don't eat bread very much. Inhale, open, exhale. Inhale, open, exhale. Inhale, open, exhale. This is our last one. Inhale, open, and exhale. So I'm gonna have us do something that we haven't done maybe ever or in a long time in this class. And you could do it with a block. I don't have any blocks here. I'm gonna do it with, actually I've got a few pillows around here. You could do it with a pillow. So you wanna get a pillow that has some bulk to it. And what we're gonna do is just put the pillow down under your back. You can have a double pillow if you need it, like, or your block. And you're just gonna open up your chest like this. If you need something for your head, then get that. But if you're okay without it, just opening up over your pillow, breathing into the front of your lungs. You can think of breathing all the way down into your belly. And you can move around a little bit, little micro movement or wiggling, wriggling, any of that stuff. But just let the front of your body kind of relax and open. Yeah, it feels really good for me to do like a little head tail, just wagging my tail and my head a little bit. Happy dog. You know, when dogs are so happy and they're laying on their back because they're going to scratch their belly. Go ahead and, if that feels good to you, go ahead and get some of that in there. But if it doesn't, don't do it. And I'm also grabbing a hand and kind of pulling on one side and then the other. You could also just stay here and breathe and open. If we were going to do like a restorative yoga class, we could spend a little bit more time here. But we're not. We're just going to roll off of that. So that's just an invitation. If you spend a lot of time on a computer or on a screen, get something to lay over some of the time. Actually, physio balls are great too, opening up the chest, opening up the front of the body. All of this is important. All of this having the capacity to expand. Like if you just look at me, I don't look like a skull in here because of the light. If I'm here and kind of contracted in, if I open just a little bit, it changes it. If I open more, it changes it again, right? We read what people's bodies are doing. And we're also affecting our own body with that kind of movement. So don't shrink in your chest too much. Okay, daylight, that light, man, I've got both curtains closed and it's still super bright. All right, let's come back onto our backs. You can use, well, let's not use a block. Let's just come down, hands down by your sides, lifting your pelvis up, easy circles. If this hurts in your back at all, make it small. It can be low and small, just a little bit, or you could even just shift from side to side. If your back is feeling good, give it a big circle. Warming up the hamstrings, the glutes, easy body. Let your head do whatever it wants to do. Yeah, so I've definitely got some neck and shoulder stuff going on. I think I really need to go to the chiropractor and get adjusted. It's been a really long time. Change direction. But I just haven't had the chance to do that for a while. And then come into center. You're going to inhale your arms. Let's inhale the arms up as the pelvis comes down. And you're just going to exhale, push through, and then inhale, lower down. Exhaling, pressing up, and inhale down. So one of my clients once said to me, he's like, Laura, you're injured, but you move all the time. And I was like, ding, 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 ding. If you move a lot, things are going to happen. So we want to, like, especially if you do more extreme type movements, if you start changing what you're doing with your movement pattern, go slow, do less. You don't need to do it all at once. So yeah, feel free to take this as easy as you need to. All right, we're going to press up If it feels good and you want to, you can walk your hands, your shoulders closer together and interlace your hands behind your butt. We're going to lift up onto tippy toes and then lower down. Heels up, heels down. Use your breath. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Back of the body working. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Open your hands, open your shoulders, slowly roll down, taking your time, letting your spine just readjust itself. Then when you get to the bottom, just wiggle around a little bit. Let that massage out the back of your hips, maybe rolling a little from side to side. And then we'll take it into a happy baby pose. Let your baby be happy. Yeah, I was actually in a pole class, and I don't know if the teacher said it, and this has happened in my class too, like where people call happy baby have a baby pose. One can see that there's a similarity between those two ideas. But somebody once at Equinox said, or my mom actually said, is it have a baby or half, HALF, a baby pose? I'm like, it is happy baby. Okay, let's internally rotate one leg at a time, spiraling in, letting that tissue really wrap inwards, both sides, one side and then the other. And you could think of this even happening from your ribs, like wrapping around, just that the tissue is getting a chance to do something that we don't do that much, which is this internal rotation in the lower body. There was one more version of the happy baby, which was happy lady pose. That was from Equinox at 63rd Street, a woman. She goes, you know what I mean, right? Like, oh my God. Happy lady. I'm going to do the happy lady pose. If you had a happy lady pose, regardless of your gender, what would it be? I don't think my happy lady pose would be anything like the happy baby pose, but maybe it would. All right, let's pull it in and just roll from side to side, letting your head and neck totally relax, massaging through your shoulders. You can kind of open and close to roll, letting your back release, letting your head relax down, shoulders easy, massaging through the back of your body. Surrender, let go. And then come in, and we're going to do a pull it into a ball and reach it out and pull it into a ball and open wide. Pull it into a ball, reach it into a ball, side, side, into a ball, lengthen, into a ball, open wide. I'm just trying to avoid kicking my couch. I'm just inside of it here. Out, fold, lengthen, fold, open, hold it in, lengthen, hold it in, open, close. Get long, close, open, two more, reach it out, open it up, last set. But I can feel like just having the awareness that I might kick that couch changes my movement. So if you have like something in your way and it's shifting the way that you're moving, just either be very aware of it or move whatever's in the way. Let's take the hands behind the head, stretch your legs out long, scooch up so you can see all of me. Oh, actually, before we do the hands behind the head, let's just do a heel rock. So this is really to release your body, sending a wave of movement up and down through your body from the back of your heels, rippling up through to the tip of your head, the pointy top of your oblio head. Let your head and neck totally release. Actually, oblio had a round head and everybody else had a point, which is from, I don't know if it's a kid's story, The Point. I feel like it's a record, and I feel like a movie maybe too. Oblio and his little dog Arrow. All right, let's take the hands behind. Oh yeah, me and my arrow, straighter than narrow. Anyway, I don't know if you knew that when you were a kid. Probably depends on how old you are. Exhale, roll it up. Chest is opening, your butt stays on the floor, roll it down. Inhale, open. We can go exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Reach to the ceiling with that top arm, reaching up. Roll it down, open, exhale. Actually, let's do that. Let's reach that hand up. Reach for that star. Take it down. It's another musical reference, just in case you were wondering. Follow that star is actually the musical reference. In our case, we're reaching for the star. If that hurts, don't do it. Really listen to your body. But if it's possible, reach up for some inspiration, grab it and bring it back, because we all need it. And if we do it on the sort of metaphorical level, it still works. Oh, I grabbed some inspiration and brought it down to me today. Grabbed some inspiration from the transcending heights, from the heavens. You can try it without doing that also, just feeling what is different when I make that extra bit of extension as when I don't. Last one. And take it down into the floor. Let your head go. Turn your head from side to side. Yawn. Ha. When I yawn, I like to open up my hands wide and imagine that that yawn energy in my face is also just going into my whole body. So ha, the whole thing opening out. Actually makes me think of being on the roller coaster. I don't know about the arms over the head thing, but I don't know. When people are screaming with their mouths as wide as they can. Ha, it opens something up. So think about that. Not in terror, but in fun. Letting yourself open. So I'm taking my fingers, touching these sides of my jaw, right like between my upper and lower jaw, mandibular joint. Not too hard, but I'm just pushing on one side and pushing on the other. So it's like I'm pushing my fingers into my face to turn my head so that my face, my neck and shoulders can do less effort. Do this very easy. It doesn't have to be a lot of movement. It could just be a little bit of movement. Relax inside your throat, relax your neck and tongue, relax your jaw. Just really thinking of the bulb of your brain and then the shooting down through your central channel, through your spinal cord, and then routing out into your arms and legs, routing out into your organs. So your whole nervous system is just having a chance to like start at the top and go, oh, everything's okay. I can let go. I don't need to be gripping, amped up, holding on to everything. All right, let's do hands behind your head, elbow to knee, one leg in, one leg out. Going 1, 2, contralateral movement, cross body, 4, 5, 6, extra nervous system boost, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, keep going, 1, 2, 3, 4, a little faster, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and relax. Drop it down. Big inhalation, big exhalation. Relax your neck and jaw. So whenever I start relaxing my neck and jaw, for me, I notice that my hands want to do things, right? They want to get in on the action, which I feel like is a really healthy pattern, just keeping this, oh, I'm opening up. My hands go, oh, I want to get into the game too. So notice things that happen in your body. Like when I do one thing, this other thing happens over here, right? Bringing some awareness online. And then my head tail wants to have a party too. Let that whole thing free up. Cerebrospinal fluid. It is the fluid that is nourishing and filtering around your brain and your spinal cord, around your nervous system. It is bringing, it's doing all the stuff the blood does in your body. It's bringing oxygen, it's removing waste. It's doing all the cleaning and nourishing. It sounds like a parent. I don't want to be sexist about it, but yeah. Just rolling across, stretching out, and then coming in and coming up. And let's come onto our hands and knees. So flipping around, which way should I be facing? Oh, who knows, maybe this way. And curling your toes under. Let's go for an arch and curl. arching and curling, regular old cat cow. Scoop and dome, and then let your belly hang and stick your butt out here. Like don't try and hold it all in. Let it really open. And then scoop and inhale, open, open, open. And exhale, hollow and curl. Open it up. And then you can stop using your feet and just send a ripple through your spine in any way that translates for you. So rippling from your tail to your head. So when I do this, my muscles are doing some stuff, but I'm not thinking this muscle, this muscle, this muscle, this muscle. I'm just thinking of moving like a wave through my body. And this doesn't have to be the biggest wave in the world. It can be something sustainable, right? We don't want a tsunami in our body. We just want the wave to be enough that we're creating this kinetic chain of movement and fluidity through our body, also known as coordination and agility, right? We can do it from the head down to the tail also. So you're just starting to build a pattern, or you have it in there and it's easy. Sometimes it takes a while for it to come online and make sense. And sometimes it's like, oh yeah, this is easy. Let's come down onto our elbows and just do some free flow spinal movement, letting your head, tail do whatever it wants. Ripples, waves, side action. Free up the pattern. Let it go. I used to call this the curious snake. And I was talking to my sister who's married to a guy in the military, and she was teaching yoga at the military base. And I was like, oh yeah. And she was, having the people that would come to her class do some freedom in their spine movement. And I was like, yeah, I call that the curious snake. She goes, Laura, I could not say that in that environment. And they would all die laughing at me. I don't know what she calls it, like for free flow spinal movement. But I thought that was funny. Like sometimes the imagery is the right imagery, or the metaphor is the right metaphor. And sometimes it's like, that is so stupid. And I have to say, my own, like I took a yoga class a million years ago in my 20s, and the person was like, blossom open your tail or whatever. And I was like, I'm not blossoming my body. And now I'm like, let's blossom open. So what seems stupid at one point might become quite entertaining, and then quite actually perfect at another point. Let's take it into a forearm plank. You're going to push forward and backward, head reaching forward, heels reaching back. And then open your feet a little wider, circles toward the floor, and then butt to the ceiling. And the other way. And then take it down onto the floor. And let's make sure your elbows are directly below your shoulders. So you're in pretty much a right angle there. And you're just going to push, pull, pulling yourself along the floor and pushing back. Kind of establishing the relationship of the arms into the body, but also firing up your pecs and lats, right? You're getting that relationship of arm into body. Then we're going to look over one shoulder, look over the other shoulder, look over one shoulder, straighten that arm, look over the other shoulder, straighten that arm. Now, you're going to look over the shoulder, straighten your arm, and bend the opposite leg. And you're going to go point, flex, and change it to the other side. Point, flex. If it's too much to think about all that, do any version that's happening in your body. That's also fine. And I probably am going to change it sometimes to flex point, which somehow just happens. So whatever's working for you, either point, flex, flex, point, flex, flex, whatever you want to do is fine. And if it hurts to spiral, just reach out. You could not do the spiral, you could just do the legs, right? So listening into your body. Everything is adaptable. And it also just might be a good time to do a totally different exercise if something isn't working for you. I am not the Pilates police. Take it down, relax, Wag your tail, shake your butt. Free up your spine. And then bend your knees and let your legs fall from side to side. And we can take this a little more. We're going to straighten out both legs. You can take your head onto your hands. You're going to lengthen out one foot, cross it over the other, and just reach across your body, spiraling open, and then bring it back in. Lengthen out the other foot, reach. I'm going to hit the couch, spiral it open, and bring it in. Lengthening, lifting, spiral. You can either leave that leg straight or bend it, or even just feel the difference. How is it one way? How is it the other, right? In my case, I don't think I can really go under the couch there. So a couple times, breathing into it or breathing out of it. Just don't hold your breath for too long if you're doing it. And then coming in. And let's curl the toes under, and you're going to push up and down. Turn your head from side to side, relax your body. Finding this push-pull pattern in your body. And also like having your toes curled under. My knees are bent and touching the floor. You can do it with straight knees, but I feel like the bent knees is more conducive to really relaxing your body. If your legs are straight, there's already quite a bit of tension in there. Just let it do what it has to do. Soften, melt. Tell yourself you're safe and you can let go. It's okay to let go. Don't need to hold on to everything. Right, not at this moment right now. And then let's take the tops of the feet to the floor, hands next to your chest. You're going to do a baby cobra, no hands, and exhale down, just using your back. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Connecting the hands, coming all the way up if that feels okay, and down, using your breath. And we're going to bend the back knees if that feels good. Oh, try to touch your toes to your head. Taking it down. Last one. And then take it into a child's pose. Shifting back, soften down. Wiggle your spine, let it go. You can push into the floor with your hands, or you can just totally relax into the floor, either way. So like with the push, you're going to get some information about that connection of hands into torso, hands through the rotator cuff. And then when you just relax, then you also give your body a chance to release. Let's interlace the hands out in front of your head. You're going to roll up onto the crown of your head and then roll it back. Easy, gentle massage through your cranium. If this doesn't feel good, don't do it or take it easy. Listening to your own body. Good. And then shifting your weight back and coming all the way up. And let me check the time. Okay, good. Let's do a side plank. So I just vacuumed the floor, and yet things are kind of, you find things when you're down there on the floor. I'm sure you all notice the same thing, unless you have like an exquisite cleaner or you are an exquisite cleaner. Let's come up. We're going to come up onto one knee. The opposite arm and leg are going to, these ones come up into the air. We're going to bend, curl and round. Inhale, reach into the arch back. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. 3 more. 3. Use your breath. 2. Invite in the lungs. 1. And we're going to come down onto that side. Head in your hand or on your arm, either way, whatever feels good to you, and flexing legs straight down below you. So we're not in the Pilates pike, we're in the long like ballet body. Up and down, going 1. Flex up, point down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bend both knees like you're sitting in a chair. We're going to make a circle. So your knee is going to come forward. Well, maybe it's not quite a circle. And ellipse, maybe with the knee up and around, down and in. Focusing on the flow of the movement. So we're not like trying to get grippy and burny so much as fluid movement, hydrating tissue, hydrating joints, clearing away whatever lymphatic detritus is there. And then we're going to change direction other way. Knee, leg is going to shoot down, knee towards your shoulder, around and in. Thinking of making a circle or an ellipse with your knee, and your leg is just going along for the ride. Good. Bring it in, tap it out. And we're going to do one more thing here. So you're going to be there. You're going to touch your knee to your knee and then toes to your foot. In and out. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you need to go slower, that's fine. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 more. 11, 12. Good. Tap it out. Let it go. Roll it over onto your back. Cross your ankle over your knee. Let's just do a really loose, easy dropping from side to side, letting this release your lower back, relax your belly, long torso, massaging through your hips, breathing into it. And then come in, pick up your knee, draw it in towards you, hip stretch. If you want to grab your foot, go for it. Listen into your body. Do the hip stretch that feels right to you right now. Breathing. Using your lungs. Diaphragm moving. Organs moving, right? We're not packing them all in. We want them to have a lot of capacity to move, right? There's this constant sort of growing and shrinking and like peristalsis and other things happening in our body. We don't want to shut that down. We need that movement through our body in order to be healthy. So let your body have that like kind of pulsing movement and relax. Think about our hearts, right? Heart is pumping, blood is moving through our body the whole time. And we're not trying to shut that down, right? We want that natural movement just happening, right? Coming into the flow, the natural expansion and contraction of the universe, not fighting against it. So in meditation, the idea is often to not grip onto things. And when you notice you're gripping, you let it go. So let's try and do that with our movement as well. When we notice that we're holding, let it go. Unless you're on a pole and you need to hold on, then do it. So like there are times when it's appropriate, like when we're building a muscle, you know, but we don't want it to be just holding, holding, holding. It needs to have this. All right, coming onto your other side, press it up. So much to say about it. Closing, exhale, inhale, open. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and come down. Right? So like, are we learning movements that are restricting our mobility? Or are we learning movements that are increasing our mobility or our capacity to talk? Oh my God, there's something about being on your side that just changes things. All right, coming in, kicking up and down. Legs are straight down below you. So no, not the Pilates pike, but the long body, up and down. Flex up, point down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come in, bend both knees. Just give it a tap for a second. We'll do the circles first. So knee comes in, up, and down. And you're stretching your leg down below you. So really getting to like underneath you. So it's not here, but you can see the difference. Like if I'm just going in here in the front, then I'm contracting this whole pattern. I want it to be long through my body so that my leg is really going straight down below me and maybe even into the back space a little bit. So I'm not tightening in the front of my body. And then we're going to change the direction. Knee goes down and out. I usually try to do somewhere between 6 and 10 of these. I feel like a lot of times the small intrinsic muscles in our butts, all of the tissue around our hip socket, it doesn't need to do this like 600 times. A lot of times I feel like the burn classes that are doing a ton of stuff that are really exhausting these muscles are not always the most helpful ways of being in your body. All right, tap it out, let it go. So you want to think about it, like anything that you're doing, what kind of pattern is this putting into my body? Does it feel good? Is this, I don't mean necessarily in the moment of doing it, but in the big picture, are you doing stuff that makes your body feel good? I had a woman take my class once. She goes, I feel really good when I take your class. I'm not sure if it's doing anything for me. And then she goes, I take this other class and it hurts. I feel awful. So I know it's good. I'm like, oh my God, that's the world we're operating in. Movement should feel good. Sometimes it can be intense, but not if you feel awful, that's not the right class. Going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I just see a dominatrix for that. 10, 11, 12. Just kidding. I feel like we did something else, but I can't remember. Saul, is there something I'm missing? I know we roll over onto our back. Okay, and then drop it from side to side. Rolling through your hips, releasing your back. Breathing and opening. And then coming in, picking it up, draw it in towards you. If you want to straighten out the leg, go for it. Breathing. Feel what what are you giving to your body right now? Are you giving yourself the message that you feel good, that you feel bad, that you're letting go? Listen to your inner dialogue and then be like, I'm relaxing, I'm letting go, I'm stretching, I'm strengthening, right? Whatever the inner dialogue is going to affect your cells. It's going to affect your tissues. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, let it go. Relax your neck and tongue, relax your shoulders. And let's come up and we're just going to finish it off with some push-ups and then a hip stretch. So I'm going to do regular push-ups this time. So I distinguish like narrow push-ups with your elbows in are kind of like tricep push-ups. Wider push-ups with your elbows going out to the side are more like pecs. Those are easier for me. I'm going to do those probably with my knees off the floor for the first little while, and then I'm going to put my knees on the floor. And we're not going to pop up and down unless you want to. I'm just going to do straight up push-ups, somewhere between 8 and 10, most likely, maybe more. Off we go. Going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to go for a couple more. 11, 12. Keep going because I put my knees down, made it easy. 13, 14, 15, 16. Coming up, taking your hands behind you. Open your chest and lungs. You can look up. If it feels good to drop your head back, go for it. If it doesn't, don't. Really listen into your own body. Good. Taking the legs out in front. Let's do ankle to knee pose. Just ankle over your knee. If you are tight, and if you actually want to work more on hamstrings, then straighten the one leg. Straighten the bottom leg. If you are, for me, it's my hips. They need the opening. So I'm going to hang out here. In a perfect world, your ankle is directly over your knee, and this ankle would be directly under this knee. Breathe. Soften. Let go. Be kind to yourself in your inner dialogue. It doesn't help if we beat ourselves up. And then coming up and both legs out in front, give them a little bang up and down, rotate in and out. Just take it into a forward fold before we do the other side. Walk your butt from side to side, melt and let go. And then come up and switch it to the other side. Breathing into it, take it down and melt. Relax your face, relax your neck, relax your jaw, relax your tongue, soften. Is there something you can let go of, something that you don't need to hold on to? Something, I don't know, it would be wise to just soften away, let it slough off. And then come up, unscramble, bang it out, and slide your heels in, take your butt up to the ceiling, let your head hang down. You can shift yourself from side to side if that feels good. Breathing into your body, taking up space with your breath, right? Really healthy breathing is going to make you healthier. The Department of Redundancy Department. Big, deep breaths. Sometimes breathing light is a healthy way, but we want to be relaxed with that. And then roll it up. And oh yeah, so we're going to add a breath exercise at the end, which is kind of an it's kind of an activating breath exercise. So you're going to reach up with the inhale and pull down. But don't do it so hard that you're going to hurt yourself, right? If this is new to you, just make it as easy as it needs to be. We'll do 2 sets of 12. Here we go. Shake it out for a second, let it go. So really making sure to inhale through your nose. You can also exhale through your nose. I find that I can get more in and out if I do in through my nose, out through my mouth, but sometimes I do the in and out through my nose. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, let it go. One more time, same thing for 12. Let it all go. Ooh. Taking in the good air, letting go of the bad air. One big inhale up and down the outside. Good. And I'm going to stop the recording. But with my final ad, here's my last ad. And that is, I think it's going to start in March, but I'm going to do a course on meditation for movers, people who have a hard time sitting still, meditation for movers, and movement for meditators, which I think they're going to go into one course. So we're looking at different ways of being in our bodies, embodied with either I hate to sit still, that's me, finding my way towards stillness, or I'm so sitting still, I'm totally stuck in my head and I have no relationship to my body. And that's who I really like. I've been spending so much time in meditation, like it with Michael Taft doing the whole non-dual thing. And I'm finally finding stillness, and that it's a tremendous relief. So anyway, that's my pitch. I'm going to stop recording. Oh yes, because I remember how to do this.